Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today we're going to be making Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. Well, I don't know about you, with it being Thanksgiving this week, sometimes people don't just want pumpkin pie. Myself and my husband, we don't like pumpkin pie, so something different. And a lot of people do just make, a couple of different cheesecakes, but I found this recipe for Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars and it sounded good. So we're going to go ahead and make this today. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and turn on our oven to 325 degrees. We are going to go ahead and use an 8 by 8 inch baking dish. And then we're going to go ahead and line it with aluminum foil. You want to have the aluminum foil go over the sides of your pan. And now we're going to go ahead and push that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and turn around the camera and show you up close how to make these delicious Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars. First thing we need is we need a medium bowl, and in it I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We are going to go ahead and add to our flour a 1/4 cup of granulated cane sugar. And now we are going to go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And then we are going to go ahead and stir to combine. Now that we have all those dry ingredients mixed up, we are going to go ahead and take some cold butter. We need 3/4 cup, which is 1 stick, which is 1/2 cup. And then another 4 makes it 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and cut this up into little pieces. Here's what I'm talking about with the butter. Now I am using unsalted butter because we're going to be using cream cheese in this recipe, and cream cheese is loaded in salt. So again, use your judgment. The recipe just calls for cold butter. But that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this to my dry ingredients that I have in my bowl. And you can either use this as a pastry cutter to break up the butter into our dry ingredients. You could use clean hands or you could use a fork. So I'll go ahead and work on this. Now that I got all that butter broke up into our dry mixture, as you can see, we are going to go ahead and take out 1/2 cup and put it aside. Now the rest of the crumbs, we need to go ahead and put it into our 8 by 8 inch baking dish, making sure that we go up about 1/2 inch on the sides. I'll go ahead and work on this now. This is kind of what I'm talking about. I kind of used the back of the spoon and kind of pushed it more up the sides, and of course then kind of patted it down on the bottom. Now we are going to go ahead and take this crust and we are going to go ahead and put it in our 325 degree oven, and we are going to bake it for 25 minutes or until lightly browned. While our crust is baking, we are going to go ahead and work on the cheesecake filling. So now we need to take a large bowl, and in it we're going to put 2 of these Philadelphia cream cheese packages. Now they need to be softened. I'm going to go ahead and soften mine in the microwave. Or you could leave it out on the counter for a little bit to soften. Now that our cream cheese is softened, we need to go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract. And then we're going to add in 1/2 cup of granulated cane sugar. And then we are going to go ahead and use the mixer and we are going to mix it up. Now to this cream cheese mixture, we are going to go ahead and add in 1/4 cup of sour cream, which I have right here. And then we are going to go ahead and mix to combine. Now that I have that all combined, we are going to go ahead and add in 2 whole eggs. We are going to add in 1 at a time. I can get that 1 in there. And then slowly use our mixer on low speed to beat in the egg. Now that we have those eggs all mixed up into our cheesecake filling, we are going to go ahead and set this aside. And now we are going to take a small bowl, and in it I have 2 teaspoons of granulated cane sugar, and we're going to be adding in 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon to the sugar, and I'm going to use a spoon to mix that together. As you can see, our cinnamon and our sugar are mixed up. We are going to put this aside. And over here, I've got my crust out of the oven. We are going to go ahead and put our cheesecake filling and pour it over top of our crust. Now that we have our cheesecake filling on top of our crust, we are going to take that half a cup of crumbs that we had earlier, and we are going to go ahead and sprinkle this over the top of our cheesecake filling. Oops, I'm going to go ahead and work on this. Now that we have that crumb-like crust sprinkled on top of our cheesecake filling, we are going to go ahead and use our cinnamon and sugar, and we are going to sprinkle this over the top of the crumb topping. Now that the cinnamon and sugar is all on top, we are going to go ahead and put this back into the oven at 325 degrees. We are going to bake for 45 to 50 minutes or until the center of the cheesecake here is almost set. Then I will show you when it's done. The Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars are all done. I'm going to let it completely cool, and then we need to refrigerate it for 4 hours before cutting them. Here's the Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars. This is why we have the aluminum foil on the sides. We could just lift it up out of the pan with ease. I'll go ahead and cut it into bars now. Here's the Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars up close. They turned out nicely. Let's see how they taste. I'll let my family try it. Well, my family loved the Snickerdoodle Cheesecake Bars. My daughter and son-in-law said they tasted great, and my husband said it tasted like an old-fashioned crumb cake with a cheesecake filling. That sounds really good. I will have the recipe down below in the description, and where I found it, it was in the Philadelphia cream cheese original package. It was right there. Well, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.